Corinth, yeah.
Yeah. So in the Corinthians asked Paul, is it good for a man to marry? In other translations it says, is it good for a man to touch a woman? And Paul blatantly says it is good for a man not to marry or not to touch a woman. The first question I had when I read that was, well then is it bad to touch a woman? Is it bad to marry? And this is where Paul answers my question. He says, but since there is immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. So he's saying, yes, it's good not to touch a woman or not to marry. But in another sense, it is good to touch a woman and to marry. But that you can only touch a woman if you're married. Fellows, don't get any ideas. Verses 3 through 4. Can I have you read that? Okay. Thank you.
Pretty should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband, in the same way the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife.
All right. So it's kind of a handful. I'll break it down for you. Husband should fulfill his marriage duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. So the marriage duty is to show affection to your spouse, to be with them, to show them love and grace and affection. These are all the sorts of duties that you're going to have to go through in marriage. And one note I want to point out is that Paul isn't saying that you're supposed to do this to the beautiful wives that you have, or the beautiful wife that you have, like even if she isn't just submissive, maybe she's like a pain in the neck, maybe that husband is a horrible husband, it's supposed to just keep loving on them and giving that grace that they deserve, just as Jesus would. You know, we all want to be light to our spouses. In verse 4, it says, the wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife. So here again in verse 4, we see that the wife and the man, the husband, they have to give themselves to each other. You know, you're like, how should I say this? It's a good analogy for this. Like, I don't know, I can't think of it. But it's pretty much just saying that once you become married, you're not yours, you're your spouse's. They belong to you, or you belong to them. Verse 5 through 6. This young man right here, read verse 5 through 6.
Yeah, Garrett.
Thanks, brother.
Do not deprive each other except by mutual consent, and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer, then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I say this as a concession, not as a command.
So concession is more like a guideline or just a regulation. You don't have to follow it. So verse 5 says, do not deprive each other except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Paul is saying, like, depriving yourselves, it's depriving yourselves of sex is what he's pretty much saying. I'm just going to be pretty raw with you guys right there. When you deprive each other of sex, it's that part of marriage that God totally intended to happen. It's pretty cool passage I wrote right here. It says, God makes it clear that there is nothing wrong and everything right about sex and marriage. And Satan's greatest strategy when it comes to sex is to do everything he can to encourage sex outside of marriage and to discourage sex within marriage. It is an equal victory for Satan if he accomplishes either plan. So what Paul is stating is that you guys, if you want, you can stay away from sex just for a little bit when you guys are married, and just totally devote yourselves to prayer and fasting. For those of you who don't know, fasting is just staying away from, or just like not taking in food. That's like the basic definition of fasting. Like you just deprive yourself of food, and that's what Jesus did for 40 days, 40 nights. But when you do that, it should only be for a temporary time, and you come back together, and then you guys need to keep that physical relationship still intact. But Paul says in verse 6, I say this as a concession, not as a command. So he's not saying that God told him to say this to you guys,